In 1984, American jazz vocalist and percussionist Janet Lawson released the second of two albums with her namesake quintet, Dreams Can Be, and from it, the track Better Get Hit in Your Soul. Stormy intro, taking command right away. Rather loose scat singing line over piano interjections. They're kind of almost mirroring her. Yeah, it seems the piano came closest to matching her vocal cadences. Like. Wow, quite, using her voice is quite the instrument there. Although I think the person who's the instrumentalist who's standing out most at this point is Roger Rosenberg, who plays saxophone as well as flute on the album. Well, bringing her voice down a little bit, showing some range. Roger Rosenberg, for what it's worth, has played with, let's see, the George Grunt's concert jazz band. Yeah, there's like the international. So this guy's been international. Yeah, he has 189 credits according to Discogs. And now we are getting a stand-up bass spotlight by Ratzo B. Harris, who has 40 credits according to Discogs. Oh, he was on an album by Mike Knock, yeah, the New Zealand pianist and band leader. And albums by Danny Zietland, Harris Simon Group, and our other guy, Roger Rosenberg, played on a whole bunch of recognizable titles from the 1970s, including the jazz rock band Jazzmen. Yeah, that put out an album in 1979. He even appeared on Double Fantasy by Lennon and by John and Yoko. For what it's worth, Janet Lawson was 44 years old the year that this album came out. And strangely, this being her second album and really only her fourth and apparently last release to date, according to Discogs, aside from these two albums, she put out two solo singles circa on United Artists circa 1970, and then two albums with her own namesake quintet between 1981 and 1984. Born in 1940, yeah. So entered the scene. First recorded at age 30, apparently, and then didn't record again until age 41. That's kind of odd for back in the day, like that, back in that era. This sounds like a lot of talent to have been so little recorded. Well, she hits those high notes and everything and quivers like that. Yeah, and the cymbal spray that we're getting here is drummer Jimmy Madison, who has 143 credits according to Discogs, including time with Red Rodney, Steve Gilmore, Larry Newcomb, and the Dave Matthews Big Band, the 70s jazz funk Dave Matthews. Yeah, not to be confused with the 90s band leader. This has been just kind of a running stream of syllables to me, but there have been a few actual words amid the vocal improv. Finally, he's taking over after just these kind of like light interjections and touches throughout the piece. He's giving us a real run. And by he, of course, I'm referring to pianist Bill O'Connell, who has 135 credits according to Discogs. And see, I guess I had the most prolific career as a band leader in his own right. The album Searching from 1978, yeah, that's one I haven't come across before. Oh, it's trading for considerable sums according to Discogs. A whole bunch of records. It's a few records with oh, I was reading that name wrong. Anyway, let's see. What are his... Oh, I'll get back. Oh, he too was in Jasmine. As a matter of fact, both him and Roger Rosenberg played on some of the same albums together, like in the 70s. Like Mongo Santa Maria. Yeah, the... was he from? Yeah, the Cuban percussionist. Yeah. Yeah, who had a very prolific career going back to the 1950s. Oh, I hear him scaling up and scaling down those keys. Yeah, he played on a lot of salsa recordings during the late 70s and early 80s. Now we're going into a different kind of groove, more of like a hard bop territory, kind of bluesy, slightly. I love that change where he went from playing more that riff based, like over that kind of bluesy structure, and then it frees up, and suddenly he's like, all off and running again. Yeah. Also, more on the pianist. He played on that record David Lamb, um, Real Jazz for the Folks That Feel Jazz. Yeah, from 1982. Yeah, that good album. I came across. I discovered that one just a few years ago via it was Jazzman Dean's channel that introduced me to that. Yeah. Yeah, big YouTuber who would yeah, unfortunately I think he has two channels on here. One of them did get removed though. Yeah. Yeah, there's a blank link, yeah. A Jazzman Dean upload and it's empty though on this Discogs page. I definitely hear more than two arms at play on the drum percussion. Yeah. Yeah, she's credited two people. In addition to drums, we have two. Okay, yeah, so she's definitely playing percussion right now. Or was a moment ago anyway. Well, I'm hearing one guy who's like all over the toms, the snare, the cymbals, and he's kicking that drum. So two arms and a leg, but I swear I was hearing like another hand just a moment ago. Now it's getting like really dense and abstract. It's almost like they're being sucked into a vortex. Yeah, now the recapitulation of the song proper. Mostly this section is in E flat and A flat. Yeah, those are the two chords, the two key centers. How she comes up with these syllables just at random, like these wordless. It almost seems like because you would have to at least know how to like find vowels at random that'll complement the cadence, the passage, the. Like if she was going like wah wah wah, like if she was using O's or something, or like it wouldn't quite work the same. And now we change tempo, change kind of mood, change style kind of once again. Now that sounds like a different person altogether right there when she does that. For a minute, I almost thought she was like trying to like mimic an old blues man or something. So wrapping things on kind of a bluesy note there. Yeah, that was the Janet Lawson Quintet with "Better Get Hit in Your Soul." The H in hit in parentheses, so it could, I guess it could alternately be "Better Get It in Your Soul." Yeah, composed by Charles Mingus, but yeah, what album of his was that on? Yeah, I don't recall if I've heard his version. I don't recall it having a vocalist on it, but yeah. So it was her just kind of finding syllables to throw in and just knowing really how to. I swear, at times I thought I heard her, maybe in passing, heard her actually say a few words, sing a few, like, but then again, I don't know. It just, she had a way of making those wordless vocals almost sound like a language because they were just, it seemed like each vowel, each was so choicely placed. Yeah, and that takes a real just familiar. It takes like an intuitive sense of the vocals, the syllables, and the notes and all. Yeah, to pull that off, regardless of whether you're actually singing or just vocalizing. Yeah, the Janet Lawson Quintet, led by the very talented scat singer Janet Lawson, who I guess has spent most of her career as a music tutor, um, yeah, educator, yeah, from Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, too bad she didn't leave behind more of a recorded legacy. Oh, I guess she too was on that David Long record. I'm gonna have to play that again and listen for her. And she was on a 1977 album by one Eddie Jefferson, the main man. Yeah, not too familiar with his output offhand. And then the two Janet Lawson Quintet records and the two singles from 1970 that I mentioned. And other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it as far as Discogs is aware of, anyway. For more Rubies and Sapphires from Janet Lawson's Dreams Can Be album, see the directory of albums, the annotated directory of albums from 1984, over 630 titles strong currently. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the track we just heard, the layers, the interplay, the nuances, the soloing, yeah, who had the best moment, and most importantly, the vocals of Janet Lawson. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air travel tram maximalist, signing off.